give them the keys and the tools to make $2 to $6 million in volume.
I got into being an agent because I wanted to start my own company.
Now in 2026, I think you have to be an agent for 2 years before you can even start the brokerage.
Most people don't understand who should start a brokerage.
I can do this better in my sleep.
The business partner that I started with, a guy named Lincoln Crum, who had his broker's license.
Welcome in everyone to Unscripted with Jake. Today we've got George Barrett. I don't know if George has officially been on Unscripted or not.
This is my first,
This is the first Unscripted. Yeah, this is like your fifth time on the podcast or something.
Yeah, fifth time with it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, bringing it back for number 5.
Well, thank you for having me on the Unscripted show.
Yeah, the official launch of George on the Unscripted show. We can start the recurring role on Unscripted now.
Yeah, I would like that.
So today is the, hey, don't forget, I still do real estate episode. We've had a lot of guests that were non-real estate, or we talked about things that weren't real estate with real estate people, but that is still how I make my living. That is still how we provide for our family. So this is the official, hey, don't forget, I still do real estate episode.
And I've seen it. I can vouch. He does work in real estate very hard. He's very good.
Still works in real estate.
He still finds time to podcast, but yeah.
Yep, once every 2 weeks for an hour. So today we want to take a deep dive with George on how to start a brokerage. I have gotten to the point in my career where if I wanted to start a brokerage, I could have that conversation with myself. I don't want to start a brokerage. I have no interest in starting a brokerage for a myriad of reasons. A lot of them are just personal, but we started a team which kind of solved that problem. So I kind of get the best of both worlds. Still have the support and the assistance from George and Homepage, but now we also get to kind of do things our own little way. Mm-hmm. And still have that support and, candidly bring a bunch of new agents into the industry that ultimately may have never been in it to begin with, and kind of mold and create a new generation of real estate agents.
And help them grow. I mean, I think that's the part that excited me the most about what your idea was. And I've always described it more as a launch pad, because I think that's your biggest role, both as a broker and any business owners, to kind of help those that work for you better their lives. It's not just about yourself,
Yeah, and we've had the conversation with the agents or the aspiring agents, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Is I'm going to strongly nudge you out the door after 2 years.
Yeah.
Like this has an end to it. This is not a thing indefinitely. I don't want to have a team of 25 people. Like I don't have that bandwidth.
Yeah.
I want 5 to 6 at most. Provide a quality service to those agents, and then at the end of the 24 months, send them back out into Gen Pop and be a general agent like 97% of Homepage is, but give them the launch pad like you use. I loved that word when you used it back when we talked the first time.
Yeah.
A launch pad into creating, even if it's just a part-time gig, something that they can make somewhere between $2 and $6 million a year in volume.
They can sell too.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm joining your team, Jake.
Yeah. We're going to make $3 million. We are taking over the world.
That is a great promise.
So, but give them the keys and the tools to make $2 to $6 million in volume. And then that way they can handle it on their own. We'll be there for support in the long term, but this is, like you said, to use it as a launch pad.
Yeah, and not to sideways your podcast, because you only sent me about 32 questions plus a mailbag, so obviously we got to get through a couple. But I do want to just reiterate what you said about Homepage starting these like launch pads, as I called it. We did a town hall. What was that, 2 weeks ago or so? I don't know if you watched that.
Yeah, I was there. I was present.
So that in our town hall, we talk about the survey results, and we kind of talk about what changes that you can expect this year. And I spent about a couple of minutes, I would say, explaining
more than I thought it was going to get.
And to be honest with you, I'm surprised that I haven't had an agent come up to me and ask more. I don't know. It was near the end, so maybe people stopped paying attention. But
I thought it was more towards the middle.
Okay, but I think hopefully some Homepage agents will watch this and start to be a little interested in this, because I want this to be something that agents can. I view it as good for you, good for the new agent, good for Homepage, but also is going to require a lot of work. And I think it's not going to be easy. So
your message conveyed was you got to put a business plan together, training schedule, all that stuff, and that may have been not something that scared them off, but something like, okay, I need to really put some thought into this instead of just having an off the cuff conversation with them. So I'll give my fellow agents a pass or get out of jail free card.
Now you're making it look like I'm
no. Like you got to put You made it sound like it was something that really needs to be thought out and put together, which it does.
Yeah.
It needs to be something like you don't want an agent to just come in off the cuff and say, yeah, I want to do something like that. Because then they could fizzle out 3 months, and now you got these agents that they don't know, these new agents that don't know what to do.
And it dovetails into exactly what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Really.
So let's get into it. Like, I'm an agent. You were an agent at one point, and then you became a broker. What was that process like, officially switching from agent to broker?
Yeah. And I've scrolled through your questions, and I know
I'm just gonna be honest. We're probably just gonna talk for an hour.
Okay, good. That's what I figured. You've done this every time. This is the 5th time now, and you might get to 2 of the things. But
yeah.
I will say, a lot of questions, by the way, as I mentioned.
I'm always
before.
over prepared for these.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't think about or prep for any of this stuff, but I did on the first read your last 3 questions, especially your actual last question in the whole thing, question number 32. I did think was actually the most important one and where I would probably start. But let's answer your question first, and then if we could skip to question 32,
perfectly fine. Yeah,
that would be great.
Yep, absolutely.
And by saying that, can you reiterate your question?
Where do you go? So you're an agent, you're ready to start a brokerage.
Yeah.
What is that process like?
So the simplest form of this, and when I got into real estate in general, I never got into wanting to be an agent. I got into being an agent because I wanted to start my own company. Mm-hmm. And I say company, not brokerage, because I wasn't quite sure which part of the real estate industry I wanted to have a company for. I am an entrepreneur at heart. I mean, and I always joke, like, being an entrepreneur means I'm really just saying I'm unemployable. Mm-hmm. Like, I would not be able to work for you, Jake. Sorry. I know you're not hiring, but if you pay me $2 million, like you mentioned, we all have
a price.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I always had to create something for my own. So, and I think that a lot of real estate agents are like that. You do have to create a lot for your own, because usually you don't have a boss. And I think some agents, hence to your Launchpad thing, do need some structure to it. And that's where people struggle the most within our industry. But so I got in, and it was either going to be like a house flipping construction company, or it was going to be a marketing specific to real estate agent company. And then as I was in, I realized that there was a huge need for a brokerage similar to Homepage. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I came up with it. But I knew from the start that I wanted to start a business of some sorts in there. Now, the simplest way to answer your question is you've got to, I guess the simplest way is nothing. There is no actual traditional starting point. Like, you don't need your broker's license to start a company. I didn't have my broker's license when I started a company.
I think most people in the traditional sense, though, the broker is also the owner.
Yes. And I think too, to answer your question, is you got to frame it of what your goals actually are. Mm-hmm. I think there's some people, a lot of them are top producing agents that think, oh, I should just go out on my own and save whatever company dollar that you may be paying to your company. That is usually like a one-person shop type brokerage. Mm-hmm. And that's a totally different strategy and way to do things than what I have done and what I intended to do when I first got into the industry. So I can't really speak too much on I'm going to hang a shingle and it's just going to be me. What I can talk about is kind of having a larger future and an entrepreneurial mindset. My goal in real estate was to make money through a company, not make money through sales. But I think it's really important to understand the industry before you do that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You got it.
Number one, I do think you need to be an agent at least for a year. I did it for about a year and a half or so. I
think now in 2026, I think you have to be an agent for 2 years before you can even start the broker classes.
Exactly. And it was the same way.
Yeah.
But see, I am the least patient person not the least, but I am very impatient. Mm-hmm. And so I was waiting out my 2 years after I kind of got in, and maybe 4 to 6 months realized like, oh, I think there's a need in brokerage. So that's when I started realizing I wanted to be a founder of a real estate brokerage.
So you went through the school, you did the courses.
No, I didn't.
You didn't do that. Well, eventually you did. You eventually got the broker's license. Yeah,
year 3.5.
What's the what's the startup look like? Are you got to establish yourself with the state, right? As a fully functioning brokerage.
Yeah.
And then how does that all go down? What are those conversations like?
There's some forms that you have to fill out. I think one's 202 maybe. And you essentially just write down your company's name. You have to have an address. You need to have an LLC established with Secretary of State. And you have to have a bank account for your earnest money deposits.
Yeah. How many bank accounts do you have to have? Obviously you need an earnest money account.
You need 2.
And then you
minimum.
just need the basic checking, business checking.
Yeah, I mean, I think theoretically you don't have to have an operating account. Like, I guess you could just take cash, but you have to have, you're not allowed to commingle. So you can't have your earnest money or escrow account. That was the word I was looking for. You can't have your escrow account commingled with your operating account. So you need theoretically 2 bank accounts.
I always find it funny because we've got the short-term rental company that we have. And I have to have an earnest money account as well.
Yeah.
But it's short-term rentals.
Yeah.
We don't.
There's no deposits.
There's no deposits. There's no earnest money. So that account literally just sits at 0. And every month I print out a statement that says it started with 0, it ended at 0.
Yeah.
So like that's my compliance.
Yeah.
There's nothing, and I don't have to report it or anything because, you know, I think from my understanding, you only have to actually look at it if it's being audited. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing to audit. Like the audit will take 5 minutes. We can have coffee and be done with the audit. There was nothing.
I'd be surprised if it took 5 minutes if it's a bunch of zeros.
Well, we got to order the coffee
Maybe
first.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. You got to wait for the coffee. That's
it takes a minute to be made.
But you know, you do have to have a broker license.
Yeah.
And one interesting thing is you don't have to. A broker can be a broker of multiple brokerages.
Mm-hmm.
As an agent, you can't do multiple. You can't join multiple brokerages. But a broker can be a broker of multiple brokerages. The one thing I will say, just off the script, I would say, this is now like the second or third time you've been really interested in what it takes to start a brokerage.
You have on the head of my son. I don't want to start a brokerage.
Last time we talked about Compass and
Anywhere.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And this kind of conversation happened as well. And I think that it is probably one of the more misunderstood things in real estate, the difference between a brokerage and a real estate agent.
Yeah. Well, that's part of why I want to do this today is kind of have the conversation. Let's establish what it takes to do it.
Yeah.
But no,
broker and 2 bank accounts to answer your question in the quickest way. I would suggest to do an LLC. I guess theoretically you do a sole proprietorship, but do an LLC. And you're going to need to get insurance, business insurance, and E&O insurance. You can get E&O insurance through the state. And then outside of that, there's a million different ways to do things. I can tell you kind of how.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk. You know, your thoughts on.
Yeah.
Now you really don't recruit.
Yeah.
You don't really recruit agents, but at one point you did.
Yeah.
And you know what were you looking for in those agents? What were you looking for when you were going out? And you know, we've heard the stories of how Homepage started, and one of the bigger agents that you got from the jump was Michelle Curlin.
Yep.
Outside of Carrie, of course.
Yep.
But you know, I don't need to know how those conversations went, but like, how do you identify back then? How did you identify which agents were targets of who you wanted to bring in?
Yeah. So Michelle came over maybe 3 years in. So although it's a lot of the timeline of Homepage sounds like it happened quickly, but there was almost a year before Carrie was ever part of the picture.
Yeah.
And that was a long drag.
We've got an old video from, I don't even know which studio because we've been in so many different studios. There's an old video of you literally just, I think it's maybe 4 or 5 minutes straight, just talking about like how Homepage was created.
Really?
And the full, if I remember, I'll tag it below in the comments.
I don't remember doing that on video.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 minutes, and you literally just went from like pillar to post.
Oh, cool.
On Homepage. I ended up sharing it on the Facebook page, the private Facebook page for Homepage, and it got a lot of attention. It was really cool.
Oh, I have to check that out.
Yeah.
So without going from the very beginning of everything, when you talk about the recruiting thing, so day one, I don't know if I said this on the video, but day one, our amount of agents were the business partner that I started with, a guy named Lincoln Crum who had his broker's license. So that was a necessity because I left before I got my broker's license. Number 2 was my wife, who sold about as much as me. I started this thing pretty early in my real estate career. Obviously, I was selling maybe $3.5 to $4 million. It was my second year in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I brought a huge amount of production. And then my wife was selling about the same. And, we started the brokerage. So we had 3 agents. The second day, she was like, hey, I don't want to be a real estate agent anymore. It might've been, I don't want to work with you, but being a real estate agent is tough, and for her, the ups and downs of, I got someone a contract and then it's out of contract. And then, I have a client, now they're working with someone else. That was really hard for her. So she ended up going into insurance sales, which is similar, but it's a little more stability and long-term basis. So, that was a big part of the business model was she's bringing in revenue. I'm bringing in revenue. Lincoln's bringing in revenue. So at that point it became oh my God, we've got to find anybody. And I really, from the start, if I were to say I targeted anyone, or the targeted's a weird word, but to say I would hope that people came to Homepage, was people that I wanted to hang out and work with. That's essentially the only thing I thought, because I had come from zero real estate background. I was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky, but when I got in the industry, I told all my friends and family, I don't want to work with you guys. And I was so dumb, so ignorant that I didn't even tell them, let me work with your referrals. I didn't understand the business at all. I didn't realize it's all about getting referrals. I learned that later. So, being from Louisville, Kentucky, how do you work with people that you've never met before? That was a big challenge for me. Now, luckily, Zillow costs $200 a month. So I did that and I became number 1 in a bunch of different markets. And that helped. And I did a lot of open houses. That was the main thing, is open houses.
I know you always preach about the value of open houses. That really is a way to grow your business.
And skills.
Yes.
And skills. And I think that's the thing that I learned the most was the amount of reps it took me talking to people about real estate before I felt comfortable talking to people about real estate. And just thinking of some of the conversations and things I had in the beginning. But I say that because I truly believe that real estate itself is not an industry that is specific to a certain personality type, set of skills, background, anything. I believe certain people can be lawyers, certain people can be doctors. I know I personally could never be a lawyer because the amount of reading that you have to do is so. I'm good at math. I'm terrible at reading. Stuff like that. I was never born to be able to be probably a doctor either. But in real estate, I've seen super successful real estate agents that are completely different from each other. I've seen people really shy, which you wouldn't expect in a sales career.
That's the one thing that I would be shocked at, is to see an introvert be successful.
Yes, and I could name those introverts that some are at our brokerage, but I don't want to start talking about people outside of this room. But
especially if they don't think they're an introvert.
Yeah, exactly. That are wildly successful. So that's what I mean. I knew that I could teach someone the real estate industry. All I needed to know was that I could trust them and they wanted to work hard. That's the only requirement of being an entrepreneur and being a real estate agent, is you have to have a discipline about you, something that you're going to do every single day.
Did you look at age demographic at all?
No, I didn't. Now, I was 29 when I first started and I had a shaved head, so I looked like I was 16.
Yep.
And like minds attract like minds. There was someone told me that you only have influence over people within 7 years up and down of your age. So naturally, it was mainly younger people that joined our brokerage and brand new agents, because no successful agent wants to join the dude that looks 16 and has no experience.
Yeah.
So we naturally had to do that. Now, I had the idea of always being on social media and making that our main focus. So I definitely wanted people who understood that and embraced it. But for me, man, it was really strictly about, do I like being around you? I feel like I'm a decent judge of character. So if I like being around you, other people will. And do I think that you have the discipline that it takes to do this? And that was it. And that was it.
Did you go after
we were
part-time,
desperate for
full-time?
agents.
I wouldn't say desperate, but
We were
highly,
desperate,
highly
dude.
motivated.
Dude, yeah, I mean, we still had bills to pay, and the
Yeah.
business model wasn't working. So,
Yeah. Well, and if we want to be complete, let's just be honest with each other here. Part of, again, this is me not saying I want to start a brokerage, but I can take a lot of the concepts of starting a brokerage and apply them to starting a team.
yes,
And that was the real, again, if we're being just honest with each other, that's the real reason why I want to talk about this.
Yes.
Is what can I take from the brokerage inception
yes,
to apply to a team and put myself in the best position to be the best possible team leader for these agents.
okay,
We're going to have bumps and bruises along the way, but if I treat this as if it was a brokerage,
yeah,
then I think I put myself above a lot of other team leaders.
yes,
Because they've got the broker support, they've got the brokerage support. If I attack this as if I don't have that support,
yeah.
then I'm just going to provide a much higher level of service.
Okay, that's interesting. So that's going to change the way I want to talk about the conversation to actually give you advice that you can help. Because in this, your last question, who should not start a brokerage?
Yeah.
I think that's very important because I think teams is maybe somewhere in between being an agent and being an owner of a brokerage.
That's how I view it.
But most people don't understand who should start a brokerage. And the number one person that should not start a brokerage is a super successful agent. I truly believe. Now, you can be your own one-man shop.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of not one-man shop, but that's kind of what a team is. Like you guys have a sole focus of selling real estate and you will be training and working with real estate agents, right? That is not what an owner of a brokerage does.
Yeah,
and you
it's tough.
don't have the time to do it.
Yep.
If you are someone, and luckily Carrie and I have the perfect like opposite skill set. She sells $24 million of real estate last year. $24 million.
That's stupid.
That is 90, 120 hours a week. It's a lot of hours a week. There is no way that she could spend the time doing the spreadsheets, the people management, the corporate structures, the handbooks, while still being able to sell all that. But because she's out there in the field, her networking, the respect of the industry, the recruitment, the understanding of cutting edge management or cutting edge marketing and stuff like that, she has that set of skills. But like, there is no way that she could do it without me. And there is no way I could have done what Homepage ended up doing without her. We filled each other's roles very well. And you got to have someone who wants to be running a business because it is everything I do and think about. I do not think about selling homes or I don't have the time.
I don't think I'll ever lose interest in selling homes.
Yeah.
And that's to piggyback off what you said, that's probably why I'll never start a brokerage is I believe what you say. I believe that if I start a brokerage, I'm not gonna be able to sell much. I'm gonna have to delegate out. I'm gonna have to give stuff to people that ultimately I would rather be working.
Yeah.
But I can't because I just don't have the time for it. So
also, if you're going to start a brokerage and you want to do it like I'm going to make money being the owner of a brokerage, not the one-man shop thing or a small team thing, you're going to not make money for 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
You're going to lose money for at least 2 years. Like I literally was pumping in cash. Every house that I closed on, 100% went towards the operations, mainly because I made a ton of mistakes.
Yeah.
And anyone will when they start. You're never going to be perfect. And that's the most important part about starting a business is you need to be making mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, you're being too safe and you're not growing quick
enough. You got to take chances.
You got to take chances. And you
Smart
gotta
chances,
learn.
but chances.
Yeah. And you got to learn and you got to keep coming back because, man, there is so much failure and disappointment and embarrassment when it comes to people leaving or losing out on a recruit or, you know, something goes wrong and then an agent has an issue with the client. Now you're the one who actually is facing that issue and you're the face of it. Like if you're not ready to lose, you're not ready to start your own brokerage.
Yeah. I am what's that saying? Analysis by paralysis or whatever.
Yeah.
Paralysis by analysis. Like I'm literally the exact opposite of that.
Oh, I couldn't tell with the 32 questions.
No.
Perfectly outlined. And
well, gotta be prepared.
Because a lot of these questions, like, what do I need to do there? I was like, I didn't know or do any of this stuff. I just failed forward.
I just go. I'm going to jump in the deep. Like I started a bounce house company. I don't know anything about bounce houses.
Yeah.
I just knew that there was money to be made. And I felt like I received a quality of service that was very low from one of my, at the time, competitors, because I didn't own the company. I didn't have a company. I was like, this is a joke. Like, and I paid them how much money to do this? And it was embarrassing. Like that they had the audacity to ask me for this amount of money, and this was the quality of work that I got.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna name any names, but they were very bad. So I was like, I can do this better in my sleep.
I felt the same way about Brokerage, and it wasn't they were bad by any means.
Yeah. Mine was bad. I will openly say mine was bad.
It was, I looked at the industry and I was like, that's all they're giving agents, and they're taking how much?
Yeah.
And it was a different time. I mean, this is 2012. This is 14. It's crazy to say. It's 14 years ago when I got into the industry. I'm in my 15th year in the industry. And it's just a different industry now. And I do think that homepage changed a little bit of what we expect locally from our brokerages.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would agree with that. It felt like we were miles ahead of everybody from a media standpoint when I joined, and that gap has been shrunk.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's not,
but that's good for the public.
Yes.
That's good for the public. They're now everyone is on their A game.
Yeah. And it's not,
at least the ones that matter.
It's also no longer like our number one thing that I feel like makes us homepage. We're now to the point of currently year to date in Louisville, we are number 2 in sales. How cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
That allows you to build an incredible structure around your agents. The media team's awesome. We know that. But also, like, there's a hotline that you can call and get a ton of trainers right there with a question. There's 2 beautiful buildings that you can help have staff meeting or client meetings and stuff like that. The amount of like connections that we have with Limestone and now the New Sour agency group and all this stuff, like, we are officially bigger than the sum of its parts, you know? And I think it takes a while to get there and to think about, like, I think if you would have joined us in the first couple of years, you might have left. You know, we didn't have everything figured out, you know, but we had our media figured out, but like, there were some times where things would get screwed up with your transactions, you know, like the clients were fine, but you know, sometimes
a little bit of stress on the back end.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit of stress on the back end.
We were a new restaurant, you know, we were still working out the kinks.
Sometimes the steak's not cooked right.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right. Anything else talking brokerage teams wise worth talking about right now, or we can jump into the mailbag portion of the episode?
Well, let me give you some.
We can talk about this as long as you want, because like I said, there was an ulterior motive, but it was not to leave you; it was to continue to grow with you.
Yeah, let me give you some advice on, and this is kind of unsolicited advice.
No, it's not. I asked you for advice.
Might not be the right advice, but it's my advice from my knowledge. The burden and the thing that makes it the hardest to be an owner of a broker, and in this case, a leader of a team, is the true commitment to you eat last. Mm-hmm. And that is really, really hard for a lot, especially top producing agents, because for so long, you have only got to eat what you killed. Mm-hmm. And you had to look out for yourself, because a lot of times when you're out in the field and you're driving alone and you're showing up to an address that you've never been, and you have to do 14 million things on your phone and on your laptop, it's all been about you, and you got to figure it out. Well, when you start leading real estate agents, that person is the person that you are now leading. Mm-hmm. And they don't know what they don't know, especially the new agents.
Which is all we're looking for.
Yes. And they need you to feed, you know, and you have to give up your time. Mm-hmm. You have to give up your stress. You have to give up your pride in order for them to succeed. And if you can continue doing that, if you say, and that's what we say, agents first, if you can continue saying that I need to make sure that you get what you need first before I get what I need, you keep doing that every single day, they will make sure that you are taken care of. And as soon as you start thinking like, what's in this for me? This is my opinion. You become a less effective leader and you limit your top end potential. I think if you think what's in it for me, you can be successful. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that you can have the full, whole is greater than the sum of its parts, you're limiting your potential. If you constantly think, what can I do for them every single moment of the day, it all works out in the end.
Yeah, and that's hopefully the route that we're going to go. Is not hopefully the route we're going to. It's the route we're going to attempt to go, and hopefully be successful at, is being able to put them first. From day one, we added our first agent officially, Christiana Little.
Congratulations!
Thank you. She fit the bill. She was already licensed, but she fit the bill. Former student athlete, young, didn't know what she didn't know, ready to go, hungry, great work ethic. Put her on a listing immediately. Like, all right, let's not talk. Let's just act.
Yep.
Like, we're still going to talk, but like, now you've got even more skin in the game.
Yeah.
If this doesn't sell, you don't get paid.
And if it does sell, you're making less money than you would have made alone.
Automatically already making, we're going 50-50 on it.
Yeah. You've got to make that decision for the next 2-3 years before that relationship starts paying you back. And can you hang in there for that long, even on the days where it doesn't feel like it's working? That's going to be the key of like you succeeding or you being like, you know what, I'm better off. And honestly, in your position, either answer is right. I'm not saying, you have to succeed as a team lead. And I also understand, I believe that you understand that. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you've been on a baseball team, and you understand, like, I can't just
I miss the
think
team
about me.
aspect.
Yeah, exactly.
Even at my age of 38 years old, I still miss having something bigger than myself.
Yeah.
And Homepage is bigger than me. Don't get me wrong. That's not saying Homepage doesn't fill that void.
But that's not your responsibility.
Yeah, Homepage is not my company.
Yeah.
Don't own a penny of that company. Don't own a fraction of that company. I have no equitable interest. The team, I'm going to have all the equitable interest.
Yeah.
Like that fills that void for me. Maybe. We'll see.
It's funny because
It may just find a new scratch. I may just find a new itch.
Yeah. I told Carrie when we first started off, because like you, we were recording everything. Podcasts. Well, really, it was video series. Had a video series called Flipping with George. And we would put out at least one episode a week. And that took a lot of time for us to do, but also it became very public. And we didn't know if Homepage was going to succeed. And I looked at Carrie, I was like, this is either going to be a great success or the most public failure that Louisville has ever seen.
Yeah. I'm documenting the team process.
And that's what you're doing right now.
Yep. We're putting it out there.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it every other episode. Like, it's going to be something that is a constant conversation piece.
And it's
publicly.
not going to go. It's not going to go as you planned. And there are going to be struggles.
I'm already ready to fail.
And you're going to have a team member once that you think is the best person on your team, and they're going to leave you, and you're not going to see it coming. And you have to be okay with that. And you have to pick yourself back up and realize that the next person can be that person that I thought that person was going to be for me forever. And everything changes all the time. No one is going to be with you forever. Nothing is going to be the same. That lesson, I still don't fully understand.
And maybe my blissful ignorance is saying that if I give people a timeline and say, hey, this is a 2-year thing, do it and you're out, that almost, again, blissful ignorance, maybe that will keep them longer than if they're like, well, this is just an indefinite thing. If I just want to go do something else, I'll just go do something else. Like, they know that this is a set amount of time.
Yeah.
And at the end of that, they're going to graduate, air quotes, and move on to Gen Pop with all the other agents. Like, again, blissful ignorance, maybe they stay for the 2 years. And I have less turnover than maybe your other traditional teams that are out there. So, I don't know. We'll see. I could be completely wrong.
I think
would be the first time.
You're going to enjoy doing it, though.
Oh, I'm already excited.
Yeah.
I was already excited about the job. I love this job. It's the best job I've ever had. But this gave me a whole new leash on life and kind of reinvigorated me, remotivated me, because now I have mouths to feed.
Yeah.
That are not just having the same last name as me.
Yeah, that's the key.
Like,
and that's what keeps me up at night. I mean, we have 16 employees plus 3 that are offshore plus 200 agents. Like, what happens if we screw up? Yeah. What happens if I were to go out and get a DUI and get in a wreck and all of a sudden my license is gone? I mean, I haven't drank in 4 years, so obviously
it's going to be tough to get a DUI.
Yeah, that's been fixed. But like, I think about that all the time, and it affects every single decision that I make. And even if you only have one team member, like, you are now responsible for that person. You screw this up, you get yourself sued.
If I look like an idiot on social media or do something wrong and get canceled.
Yeah. And that pressure is what makes people rise up to the challenge. Not that you had already, and that's the thing about you, man. You didn't have to do this. Like, you have been super successful in your real estate career, by the way, which is awesome because dude's still wearing a t-shirt and a hat and just killing it. And, you know, and you're your own self and you are who you are and you're not necessarily, you know, my way or the highway, but you're also not like trying to be something that you're not. And I think
I can fit in any room if I have to.
Yes. And most successful realtors can, but you also come into it in a genuine sense where I have talked to other sales professionals, let's just say outside of real estate. And you just feel like you can tell from the minute you're like, oh, you're playing me right now. I'm in a talk track right now. You know, I've never felt that way about you. And that is what your team members are going to, that's how you're going to succeed, because I think that's infectious. And I think that that's what people need to know growing up, is that in real estate, is that you don't have to be what it looks like on HGTV. Just be yourself. And like, there are plenty of people out there that are just like you, you know? And I think that's something that you've learned pretty early. So hopefully I'll see your team kind of exhibit that.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. We got several prospects in the works. And if it goes the way that I hope it goes, which again, might not, but if the prospective agents that I believe are end up joining, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. It's going to be awesome to lead those people.
You're going to have to feed them too.
Yeah.
You got to get the leads.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, so like, what do you see? I know you've given, by the way, a great business plan to me, and you've explained yourself, but I don't know, you don't have to share any company secrets, but I don't know if you want to tell people, like, what's your thoughts on how to help generate that type of stuff? What do you see as like a new team member to your Launchpad? What can they expect, and what are they going to learn from you to help them be successful?
Yeah. So we got to touch the obvious ones. You got to do the Zillow and the homes.com and the Facebook leads. Like, you have to do that. There's too much business that can be made through that, but that's not where we're going to put most of our money. We're going to do it because, in my opinion, you have to. When you're on a team, you have to get the Zillow leads. You have to give those agents the hope of a lottery ticket, which is kind of like a Zillow lead. I think a Zillow lead's a lottery ticket at this point.
Yes.
You know, you could get somebody that wants to buy a $17,000 piece of land, or you could get somebody that wants to buy a $900,000 house.
Yeah.
It's the lottery ticket mentality. And in the world that we live in, there's a lot of gambling now. It's kind of a gamble with Zillow, but it feeds into that, where if they know that they have a chance at something crazy like that, you got to take those risks as a team leader. So we'll use the splits that they provide to the team to provide more leads. Our biggest avenue is going to be through youth sports, getting to the parents through youth sports, and then also with college athletics. We've got it. It's not crazy to connect the dots that if you go to college, you're going to get a pretty good job. If you have a pretty good job, you're going to buy a house quicker than if you don't have a good job.
I'll take your word. I didn't graduate college, so I'll take your word.
Yeah, well, we're painting with a broad brush. You know, there are obviously there's the 1%, the entrepreneurs that college is not for them. It's just not. It's pointless. You didn't get, if baseball wasn't a thing, college probably wasn't going to be the route I went either. Like, I had to stay eligible, so might as well mess around and get a degree in the process.
Yeah, that pickoff record.
Exactly. Still stands to this day.
Favorite fact about Jake.
So, but we want to, if we can tap into the teams, Spalding is a school, and Spalding is where we're going to focus a lot on. Spalding is a school that has a lot of Louisville athletes.
Yeah.
If you're a Louisville athlete, you're probably not going to leave Louisville after you graduate. You're going to get a job in the workforce, go get a job at GE, Humana, Ford, wherever, the big ones that are here, PNC, the big ones that are here working. Well, you get a nice job, you buy a house. I've always believed that the long game was the game to play. And if you can get in front of those people now, in 2 to 3 years, all we want to do is, let's look at it from a high school kid picking his college choices. I just want Jake Wardrop Realty Group to be a hat on the table.
Yeah.
Like, you may have a cousin that's a realtor, but if we can at least get the conversation, let's at least have the conversation with you about being a possible option to represent you. That's all I want. Just get me in the room.
Yeah.
Get my hat on the table.
Enough tables and someone will put it on.
Exactly. So, we go full circle. I did a ton with the NIL athletes.
Yeah, that was cool.
My first and second NIL athletes have both bought homes from me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The brother of one of them bought a house from me.
Yeah.
He helped me sell my parents' house because he was the buyer of that.
Yeah.
So it's all full circle when it comes to athletics. Is if we can just stay in that little world,
Yeah.
we'll have plenty to eat.
Well, and
We don't need to venture out if we don't want to. But again, those lottery ticket style leads from Zillow, that gets people excited.
Yeah.
Now, is it fruitful? I don't know, but neither is winning the lottery, but people still get really freaking excited when it's $900 million,
yeah.
and only one person's going to win. So kind of play into that where if these agents know they've got a chance at $900,000 buyers,
Yeah.
I have to take that risk.
Yeah.
And I have to take on that financial burden.
And for you as the team lead, like even if they fail, like that's what they need anyways to understand what works, what doesn't work, and go forward.
And we've got a lot of old, I don't want to say old leads because that kind of sounds bad, but we have a lot of contacts that I just don't have the man hours to talk to them.
Yeah.
Like,
you have a lot of listings that you don't have the man hours to hold open houses.
Open houses are massive. I agree with you wholeheartedly that open houses are the quickest way to build your business because you just don't know who's coming through that door.
Yeah.
And when they do come through that door, you don't know what the conversation is going to be like.
Yeah.
If you talk to someone that you haven't talked to in a year and a half, as a buyer lead, like how that conversation is going to go.
Yeah.
90% of the time it's we thought about it, we're not interested. Okay, just keep nurturing that lead. But the open house people, some of them aren't interested, but some of them are ready to roll. Like
some of them are neighbors that are ready to sell their house, and they're there looking to see how much is a house for $200,000.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you strike up a conversation. And the key is, and I think this is where you're going to help your agents. And this is something that I always preach to Homepage is that discipline and work ethic. Most people quit 1, 2, 3 open houses in. I didn't get a client. Well, A, you probably weren't saying the right things. B, you might not have been hosting the right open houses in the right areas and the right price points. And it could take 15 weeks before you get your first one. There's 52 weeks in the year. Like, keep going. Do at least 40 weeks of open houses. In my opinion, do at least 40 open houses in a year.
And that is a prerequisite for our team. Like we do
40
not
exactly?
No. Hosting open houses.
Yeah.
Like you must. It's not an option. You don't if you don't want to do that, then there are plenty of other great mentors at Homepage.
Yeah.
They're not going to require you to host open houses.
Yeah.
They're going to encourage you to do it, but they're not going to make you do it.
Yeah.
It's a must with us.
That's good.
It's a non-negotiable.
That's good.
Not because I have listings that need them hosted. I host my own open houses too. Like
Right.
it needs to be done. But if you want to follow the framework, you want to follow the pattern and hopefully be successful, it's a non-negotiable for us.
And it gives you something to market. Like,
yes,
go into the green screen studio, make a video about an open house, get a cool graphic that's not just the graphic. We're going to give you graphics anyways, but there's all other graphics you could do. You could do market stats in that neighborhood. And now you have like 2 or 3 things throughout the week to hype up on social media. I used to invite like the mega open house, I think was Tom Fair. I'd invite the neighbors of the place just from like noon to 2. Hey, this is a goodbye party for the Smiths here. You can come in and see about what your home might be worth in the neighborhood. We'll have I always would do like hot dogs and hamburgers even. And like no one would eat a hot dog or hamburger, but people would show up.
10 hot dogs and hamburgers.
Yeah, people would show up. But anyways, yeah. So that's great.
Okay. Any other thoughts on teams? Any other more unsolicited advice that I will gladly take as solicited advice?
No, I mean, I just think that whole you embracing what leadership is about is something that is going to be, in my opinion, the most important. I mean, speaking from a person that basically that's my role at Homepage, but if you're just consistently there and trying to be the same person, I mean, you're going to have times where you don't feel happy. There's a lot of sales meetings that I do not feel happy. Something bad happened to me or the company last week or yesterday, and I have to show up and be positive and smile and be 100% present with them at that time. That's so key in an industry that is full of up and down emotions. And those new agents are going to be feeling it. They're going to be looking at you.
You and me are about to go, when this episode releases, you and me are probably going to be dealing with the shit sandwich that we got dealt with one of the clients.
Oh, great.
Yeah. You already know about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I know
you
what
already
you're talking about now.
Yeah,
I
you
was
already
like,
know.
Oh, is this the way
this is not the no
another broker issue?
No swerves. No swerves here. You already know about this one. We've talked about it multiple times.
Yeah.
But by the time this episode goes out, we'll be very close to the day.
And more of those things will be on your head because you're going to have newer agents who need your guidance through those things, and those weigh on you. But then you can't bring that into the room. So
You don't want to be a seasoned vet with mediation.
no, no, but it happens, dude.
It will, and it will continue to happen. But I think if you're a recurring mediation attendee, there's a bigger problem in play.
Yeah, there's been some. There's been some that have come in and out of our doors.
Yeah, you're a walking mediation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you keep finding these people? All right, we got to do an ad read for you.
I love this.
Yeah, I'm excited to share my partnership with Senior Family Solutions and their easy equity loan program, a game changer for sellers looking to maximize their home's value. This loan allows sellers to tap into their home's equity with no upfront costs, covering everything from contractor coordination to invoices, all paid at closing. Whether you're downsizing, upgrading, or simply preparing your home for top dollar, this program makes renovations seamless and stress-free. If you're ready to take advantage of this opportunity, give me a call or visit seniorfamilysolutions.com to get started.
No, give you a call.
Yes, give me a call.
Yeah.
What'd I say?
Or visit the website.
I mean, I
Call
prefer
Jake.
you give me a call.
Yeah, definitely call Jake.
Call me.
He knows the whole program. He's done
I did
it
it
multiple
from
times.
start to finish. Yeah,
He can
great
walk you through
program.
it.
We've easily done it.
Yes.
All right, mailbag questions.
Yeah.
We gotta get out of here because we just ran the gauntlet.
Oh my God, we did.
Yeah, which is fine. I told you we weren't gonna look at the questions. We were just gonna talk.
I need to start looking at the time more.
The questions are, I think, more for me now than anything, just so like I can prep myself for what we need to talk about.
Outlines. You and I talked.
Oh no! So we had Morgan Denors on from Pitt and Frank the last episode.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, at the very end, I was like, "Hey man, we've been going for about 55 minutes, and I haven't looked at my phone once."
Oh, okay, so it's not just me. Good.
No, it is more of a. My phone is there to support me. My phone is there for the notes, but I want this more than Q&A.
Okay.
Like no, you fed right into what I wanted.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. I'm sure somebody asked this, but I don't remember who it was. What's one mistake you see new agents make over and over again? How can they avoid it? So
Giving up, man. The first 2 months they join us. Oh, I can't wait. I've always wanted this. You spend money and time and getting your license, and they don't come into the office. They show up for the first sales meeting. They show up maybe for the first training. They do an open house the first weekend, and then they never talk to their mentor. They never come back for trainings. Just come to the office every single day. Like, you are working a job. Why? Now I'm yelling at you, but it's frustrating to me, man, is that you did all this, and I sat across from you, and we talked about the company. We spent 3 hours together. Then I see you again at sales meeting, and you're so excited. And then you don't give the minimum required work, which is 40 hours a week. Mm-hmm. That's actually a longer time than you think. Showing up for a training is 1 hour. What do you do in the rest of the 39?
Netflix.
Did it scare you?
No. I was taking a drink. Okay. If I started talking, I was going to choke on my water.
I was like, man, I laid it.
Pause for dramatization.
Obviously, yeah. Pregnant pause. You can tell. That's a pet peeve of mine.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Couldn't tell. Who would have thought that coming? What's a common piece of advice you hear given a lot that you don't actually agree with?
Oh, that's a great question. These are the times when I wish I would have read, because that's a really good question. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot that I can think about.
There's the easy one. There's like the date the rate, marry the house. I hate that. Got really annoying really fast. Because,
it became liability too.
Well, yeah, that. But I'm not even thinking from a liability standpoint. It's like rates still haven't gone down that much since you told people that.
So this is going to be bad because
the thoughts and opinions of George do not reflect Homepage Realty.
Exactly. And I'm looking right at you, Paul Knopp, if you're watching this. But I actually don't believe in planning and goal setting. I think it's important at certain points.
I think it's important for certain people.
But
I don't set goals.
Overemphasize it.
Yes.
And I feel like when people set goals, I hate the whole like make it attainable. People set goals and then they get to that goal or get close and they're like, I'm good enough. Like for me, my goal is one more. Like
that was literally what I was just about to say. My goal is more.
Yes. Just one more. Now, My ultimate life goal is to win the Kentucky Derby, to be honest with you. But that's more of a goal that I know I'm setting so high that the decisions it's going to take to get there is going to affect everything under that.
Yeah.
So like, I don't believe in an attainable goal.
I set an attainable goal because I know that level of transactions,
Yeah.
that volume level will be enough to support my family and my habits and my wants and my needs for the year.
Yeah.
I set that so that I know, okay, if I get below this, we're gonna have to squeeze some stuff.
Or you got to change careers. Or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
You know,
That's smart.
but like for me, it's 7 million.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's not a crazy goal for me now. I've done it 3 straight years. So for me, it's like, if I can make 7, I'm happy. I'm good. I don't have to look at my bank account every morning to see how much money I have. Like I'm good. I don't have to, if I want to go get a coffee at Starbucks, I don't have to think twice about it.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to get name brand food at the grocery store, I don't have to think about it.
Dude's balling.
Yeah. We don't have to get Kroger, no more Kroger brand in the Wardrop household. We're getting Tyson. So,
Real chicken nuggets.
yeah, I get the real fake chicken nuggets. Not the fake, the real fake. So, but like that, for me though, that is where I know like, okay, if I get that, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's the type of goals that I like, but I don't like saying we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to do that. Like I agree. It is.
Can be limiting.
It is. And if you don't meet that, like if I set a goal of 10 million, I sell $9 million in real estate. Was that really a failure of a year?
Yeah. And then are you going to be disappointed in yourself? I don't know, man.
I will say 3 years. I guess 3
differently.
years ago, I wanted to hit 10 million and I did 9.989. That pissed me off.
That counts though. And then the next year,
No, I actually did 8. I did less.
There are some goals that I've set that are like I set a goal.
I did significantly fewer transactions,
Yeah.
but I had a much higher price point per transaction. But yeah, the 10 million pissed me off just because I was like, I tried so hard to hit that 10 million and I was upset that it didn't hit, but then I was almost more upset that it was bothering me still. I'm like, this
Yeah.
shouldn't bother you. Like
Yeah.
it was still a successful
It's an
year.
arbitrary number, really.
Exactly.
at the end of the
All
day.
it took was one little bit of negotiation here and there, and maybe we get it. You know,
You
like
should have pushed that client into the leaky basement.
apparently so. Apparently, I should have had that guy buy 375 instead of 360.
Yeah,
Like, that would have solved.
exactly.
That would have solved the
I
problem.
negotiated too well.
Yes. All right. Let's see. What's your favorite stat to share? That was a homepage agent that asked that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know. I love all stats.
I know.
But I will
That's why
say,
they asked this, because they know that too.
Yeah, I will say that the most important stat in real estate is total volume sold.
Yep.
So if you want to tell, if I had one stat that I could see to tell you the strength of the market, really all that matters is total volume sold. Now, that's a lot different from buyer seller. I'm coming from a brokerage and from an agent perspective. As an
Yes.
agent and as a leader of a team, the only stat that matters is total volume sold.
Yeah, I would agree. I've got a buddy that's in real estate. You may be listening, Eric. He always talks about transaction totals.
Yeah.
When we talk, and I'm like, yeah, but what if they're all $75,000 houses?
That's what I mean.
Like, to me, volume is, and he understood where I was coming from. It wasn't
Yeah.
an argument, but it was like that mindset was different than the volume.
Yeah.
I
I would say the volume is the total potential of the market, and the closings is the percentage chance that you can hit that
Yeah.
potential.
That's fair. All right. Last question. Shout out Michelle Curlin again. Go
Oh.
full circle on this one.
Man,
This was
she's getting shouted out.
this was her question is, can you squash a watermelon between your thighs?
What an odd question.
That's why we did it last. We're finishing on this one.
You know what? Dude, I think do you have a watermelon here? Is that,
Yeah,
is
hold
that
on.
the next part? Honestly,
Surprise.
I think I might be able to do that because part of my triathlon training is I do that like clamshell machine.
The good girl, bad girl.
Yeah, that usually only women do at the gym,
Yep.
but that's like one of the few things at the gym that I actually do. So, and it's supposed to like help stabilize myself on the bike and on the run or whatever.
Yeah.
I think, maybe the next episode of Unscripted, you can bring
right.
a watermelon, make it big as opposed to the small ones that are probably harder to crush.
See if Gallagher has any spare watermelons we
I
can
mean,
borrow.
this is never going to happen, but I think I could.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, I mean, we'll probably do a field day at some point again. We used to do it out at your sister's farm.
Oh yeah, we should do a field day with watermelons.
Yeah. See if you can squash a watermelon.
That's done.
All
That's
right.
done.
Go ahead and put it down.
Yep.
He said it on camera, so you know it's going to happen. All right. Anything we need to talk about? We got like 2 minutes and we got to roll. Or we can just turn this off.
Last time I was here, we were talking about the Lions.
Yeah.
And you were very confident. Where did the season go wrong? My thing was I feel like without Ben
Injuries.
Johnson, I said Ben Johnson was the big.
I don't even put it on Ben Johnson. We had like we have arguably the best safety tandem in the league with Kirby Joseph and holy crap, why did I just forget his name?
I'm not gonna be able to
the guy from Alabama.
Okay.
Oh my God. People don't like him because they think he's kind of dirty. But
there's 3
he
people
plays really
watching
hard.
that might know that
that's
name.
fair.
They don't care.
So they had arguably, in my opinion, and objectively, a lot of other NFL guys will agree that they had the best safety combo in the league, and they both got injured like at week 9 or 10, and they were out for the rest of the year. So we had a guy that went to school for the blind and a guy that went to school with no hands and feet playing safety for us, and it just didn't
work out.
Yeah, you can't stop the pass in a division that is very high in passing with Justin Jefferson on the Vikings, Ben Johnson with the Bears, and then you've got Jordan Love and his 17 wide receivers at Green Bay. Like, you can't win those games if you can't stop the pass.
Yeah.
That's where the season went wrong. It was injury plagued.
Pressure probably on the quarterback to make it.
Now, I will say, I'm calling my shot now. Max Crosby will be a Lion next year.
Whoa.
Calling my shot.
Wow. Inside information? Or?
Yeah. Me and Max go way
just
back.
A cut?
No, he wants out.
Yeah.
He wants out from Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And he's from Michigan.
See,
the Lions already have a history of good defensive ends from Michigan. Shout out Aiden Hutchinson.
So you're saying Hutch and Crosby?
Yeah. I think last year they're pissed off. They did not make the playoffs. They're pissed off.
And they're going to build from the defensive side as opposed to the offense.
Yep. They're going to load up they're going to revamp the offensive line, and then they're going to revamp the defense, and we're off to the races. Because Kelvin Shepard their defense coordinator, will be a head coach after next year.
I hope it happens. That's exciting.
He interviewed with the Dolphins this year.
All right, last prediction on the UK basketball team, speaking of injuries.
Elite 8.
Man, that's positive.
I am drinking the Kool-Aid from a fire hose right now.
Really?
Yes. I'm all in.
Whenever this podcast...
This is going to age horribly. This is gonna
right
age
after
horribly.
the Florida game where you get trounced by 20.
Here's the thing. We win tomorrow, we're in first place in the SEC.
Oh, we win tomorrow. I'm with you on the Elite 8.
I'm already drinking the Kool-Aid.
Okay.
I'm drinking it from a fire hose.
I spit it out a while ago. And
we're doing this good without a starting point guard who's not coming back. But without a starting point guard and without Jaden Quaintance, who still could come back.
Last question. JQ coming back? I say no.
I don't think he is. But I don't think he's coming back from an injury standpoint. I don't think he's not coming back because I don't think that's where I disagree. I don't think it's a draft stock protection.
So he's coming back next year?
I think he will. I don't think he comes to Kentucky. I think he goes somewhere else.
Really?
Yes. I think from a draft perspective, he's plummeting.
Don't say that.
He has no draft stock right now.
We can pay him more than anyone
else. All the NBA knows about JQ is that he is injury prone.
You don't think, why wouldn't he come back? We can pay him more than anyone else. I think he's coming back here.
I'll gladly be wrong. I'd love to be.
Because we got no recruits.
I'd love to be wrong.
Who else are we spending money on?
Somebody's gonna back up a Brinks truck.
We got a Brinks truck.
Kansas has a whole bunch of money leaving.
Yeah, but they're gonna get Stokes and
they will, but there's only one guy.
Who are we gonna spend money on?
I don't know.
Colin Chandler's
probably
just gonna get the whole truck himself.
Yeah, Colin Chandler's getting the money. I used to be so angry at Colin Chandler last year, and now I love him.
I was angry at him earlier in the year. Now I love him.
I'm fine. I haven't had any issues with him last year, but I used to text the group chat and effing Colin's getting in the game now.
Turns
like
out
there's no way a guy named Colin is gonna be good at basketball.
Yeah, turns out to be our best.
Turns out he's amazing
player. Yeah,
turns out he's incredible. Yeah. All right, we got to roll. We hit the mark. Like, subscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe.
Don't
again.
unsubscribe.
No, you got to unsubscribe to resubscribe.
That helps the algorithm.
Apparently, it does. Just don't forget to resubscribe after you unsubscribe.
I know what I'm doing Friday night.
What are you doing Friday night? I'm not subscribing from all my favorite podcasts just to resubscribe to them.
Just yours. I'm just going to hammer that.
All right. Once again, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I know you don't have to give it, so it's much appreciated.
You always have it, bud.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. We'll see you next time.